Hey guys, welcome back to Getting Her to Say I Do. It has been a while and so much has happened. I had a friend get married. Um, Zach and Tashara got married, and I was like, whoa, super excited, super happy for them. Um, I've been waiting on them to get married because it's kind of selfish. When they got engaged is when I actually met the young lady that I fell in love with. I didn't meet her, but I got to see her again, and I got to see her, and I knew that she would be at the wedding, and we went through a really bad breakup, and haven't seen her or spoken to her in months, about 7 months. And so I knew when they got married, 6 months at that time. I knew when they got married that I would see her and that she would be there, and like we would have to okay. Um, so I had all of these emotions. I was nervous. I was anxious. I was excited. I was angry. Um, and the thing about me is I'm super self-centered. Like I know that I'm all about me. So I made it a point to be there and help out however I could. Like when they were setting up, I made a point to work and do whatever I could to help make the dream of what they were doing come about. Just however I could. I don't know anything about decoration or anything, but I can pick some stuff up and move it. So that happened, and I had all of these emotions as I was confronted with like this hope and this dream that I had of getting married, and the person I intended to do it with was there also. I was embarrassed because people kind of knew what was going on. It was just this crazy couple of days. And so I was super anxious and very emotional. So today we're going to talk about emotions, my emotions, guys' emotions, females' emotions. And this is not fact. This is just my opinion because it's my blog, Getting Her to Say I Do. You guys going through the journey of me finding a wife. So I was anxious and I had all of these emotions. And so emotions are these feelings or these kind of gauges that tell us like what's going on and how we feel about certain things. So we got like happiness and sadness and joy, and we had frustration and anger. And there's like tons and tons of my understanding of this is like this. But I know like for me as a guy, I have emotions, and guys tend to say like we're not emotional, we don't have emotions. Guys are probably more emotional than women, but our go-to is anger. So with me, like if you hurt my feelings, um, I'm not going to get sad and show you that I'm sad. I'm going to get angry and try and fight you. Like that's my go-to. If I get embarrassed, I get angry. If I get rejected, I get angry. If I get hungry, I get angry. If I'm insecure, anger. Like that is my go-to. And so I have all these emotions, but I tend to cover them up, and most men tend to cover them up and shield them with anger because any other emotion is is kind of thought of as a weakness. Like, oh, you're sad, weak. Oh, you had feelings for her, weak. Like you can't do that. But like my go-to is anger, and so I've wrestled with this and I've struggled with this, with expressing and my emotions and my feelings. Like and then like girls are like, oh, I'm sad, cry, and they hug each other and they talk it out. So I was at the school one day, and I was with like the second graders, maybe first or second graders, and there was this little girl, and they were coloring turkeys, right? And they had like the little outline, and like they had the numbers on the picture, and whatever the number was on that certain part of the picture, you were supposed to color that number. So turkeys are like brown. She colored this whole picture black, whole thing scribbled black. And so this little boy walks over there and is like, yeah, stupid, you did that wrong. She starts bawling, crying, and she runs up to me and is like, oh, Mr. Carvel, he said this and this and this and this ugly. And I was like, oh my goodness. I felt so bad for her because she was crying. Like women use their emotions to manipulate, but this little girl wasn't. She's a little kid, and she was really hurt, and she told me like what was going on and why she was upset, and I was so jealous of her because she knew what was going on, and she knew why she felt the way that she felt, and she could tell me who did what and why that made her feel like she couldn't tell me why it made her feel the way, but she told me the way that she felt, and I was like, why have we as adults gotten to a point to where we cannot walk through our emotions, and especially as men, walk through our emotions and know what's going on and know why we feel the way that we feel? Like, this little girl was really hurt because she felt rejected, like she had messed up, and she felt like she was a failure because this little boy came, and I called the little boy over there and I wanted to punch him in his face, but I didn't. But I was like, listen, young man, your words have tremendous impact. If she messed up, just tell her she messed up. Don't call her stupid and being nasty. And then I called her back up there, and she tried to fix it, and she just made it worse. But I just looked at her and I was like, listen, you can make mistakes. That's it. You can make mistakes. You're entitled to make mistakes. Like, you can. It's okay. Just try and fix it and make it better. She messed it up even worse, and I just let her have it. Like, whatever, pictures messed up. But I was so jealous of her because when I have these feelings of rejection, or I have these feelings of anxiety, or the feelings of being pushed out or not wanted, and I have like these real feelings, I can't communicate why I feel the way that I feel. I can't say, oh, it's because it said that they didn't want me. Or, oh, because I messed up with this. Or, oh, I feel like I'm not as far as I should be in life. But she could really like sit there and tell me like this happened and it made me feel this way. And I was so 6-year-old kid because she knew what was going on. But we've gotten to the point where we cover up our emotions, we cover up our feelings, and we just act like, I just get angry and fight you. And that doesn't solve anything. And we're walking around broken and hurting and can't function because we don't know how to handle or walk in our emotions. So we have our emotions to tell us how we feel in response to things. Like when people do things, or they say things, or they look at us a certain way, and you feel the way that you feel, you're right to feel the way that you feel. That's a real thing. Don't just dismiss it and say, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. No, you really feel the way that you feel about what happened, or what was said, or how they reacted. You feel that way. Check it out and figure out why you feel the way that you feel about it. Like for me, if I'm trying to talk to a girl, which I still have not, like approached a girl and was like, hey, you're fine, can I have your number? I want to hang out with you. Because I'm nervous, I'm scared of rejection. But like if I did that with a girl and she was like, no, thank you, I would feel so ugly and rejected, and I would probably get upset like, she's stupid anyways. But the reason why I feel the way that I feel is not because of her rejection of me, but because of the way that I view myself. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I'm attractive enough to have somebody to desire me and want me like that. So it's based on my beliefs and my ideas of myself, not so much on what the other person did. So understanding like you have these emotions gauge and tell you what's going on and how you feel the way that you feel is dope. Like your emotions are real things. You need to them and let them run their course and figure out what's really going on with you and why you feel the way that you feel. Allow them to happen. If you're angry, be angry. Don't let everybody know that you're angry and just put that on everybody, but be angry. If you're sad, be sad. Walk through that emotion, walk through that feeling. If you're happy, walk through that emotion and that feeling. Like somebody asked me one day, what makes me happy? And I literally, for the life of me, couldn't tell them. I was like, I like ice cream. Like I could not tell them what makes me happy. And I was like, bro, I was 30 years old and you don't know? So like stuff like that, walk through your emotions, allow them to happen, and figure out what's going on, what you're really thinking, what you really believe in, what you're really seeing, and listen to them. They are gauges. They're not good. They're not bad. They're just responses to what happens or what's happening around you. And then like, hey, I don't like it when you leave me on red. So we need to correct and fix that. I know that if you saw it, then you could have responded. Something like that. Maybe you can absolutely go deeper. That could go both ways. You could be busy and they just saw it and responded later. But figure out what you believe and discuss that and let that be known with the people. People love you and they respect you. They are not going to intentionally continually do things that upset and frustrate you. And if they do, you need to check and see, is it me that's frustrating myself, or is it what someone else is doing? Everything's not always going to go your way. Life is going to happen. Sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's great. But man, listen to your emotions and learn from them. Figure out what you like and what you don't like, and try and surround yourself and be around those things that give you joy and happiness and peace. Be around stuff that stretches you and causes you to grow, But also take the good with the bad. And man, when I saw her, she was so beautiful. Like more beautiful than like I remember. I was like, dang, she fine and thick. But it still hurt. I feel like I was getting rejected, and I'm still dealing with that. I made some poor choices, but walk through your emotions. Enjoy your emotions. Let them function and operate in your life. Don't let them control you or lead you or guide you, but allow them to kind of help how you're thinking, how you're viewing stuff, how you're acting, and how you really are as a person. So that's emotions. I'm sorry that I've been out of it, man. We've been doing all types of stuff, but I'll get at you guys again probably Thursday. I think I should have some time on Thursday, and I'll tell you guys about something else that's happened. But I love you guys. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know what's going on, what you're thinking, how you feel about it, how you feel about your emotions. Also, if somebody's irritated or frustrated or angry or impatient or whatever, let them have their emotions. You can't tell people how to feel, and you can't. I mean, people can't tell you how to feel. You feel the way that you feel, and rightly so. Is that dust floating around? Dust. Look at my hair. I don't know what happened. I met this dude named Knight. He's a barber out in Tahlequah. He is a wizard, bro. He hit my head. I was like, man, I just been fine ever since he blessed my head, and I'm, you know. But yeah, I'm happy because I feel like I look good, and that's the realistic thing, living that and walking that. But let your course live in that walk, enjoy it, enjoy life. Don't be miserable and upset and frustrated all the time. If you are, you need to change, or you need to change. If you change your surroundings, you're still gonna be miserable. But change, grow, and mature. Um, yeah, yeah. But you bless you. Yeah.